first up, we got Mattis Lux.
Mattis.
Is he in here?
M-A-T-U-S.
Start through. Yep, there you go.
Yes, sir. M-A-T-U-S.
How you doing?
Perfect. Well, considering the opportunities and possibilities in the world.
Where are you now?
Slovakia.
Wow.
So Central Europe.
In the Czech Republic?
No, it's actually, it used to be Czechoslovakia. It's now just Slovakia.
Oh,
So,
Slovakia.
Yeah.
Slovakia. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah.
It's
Fantastic.
11 p.m. here.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, I really enjoyed touring that part of the of Europe with Dio. With Dio,
Never had the opportunity to see.
Yeah,
never had the opportunity to see Dio as a solo act. I've seen him with Heaven and Hell.
Yeah, we toured there in well about 3 years before he passed away, and yeah, I really enjoyed touring up there. Yeah, you know, we also played Bulgaria a lot, and you know, it's great metal audiences. Very appreciative. Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. Do you have any questions?
Actually, no. I'm just really pleased to see you, not in person, but you know, just like this. And I hope you're well.
I look exactly like this in person. Just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
You have something to sign. You want him to sign something for you, correct, Mattis?
Yes. How do you want me to dedicate it? Like to Mattis?
Yes.
We rock. Bang your head.
Whatever you want.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. So yeah, while I'm signing this, if you know, again, if you want to talk about something about touring, what instrument do you play?
Yeah, I'm trying to start the guitar. It's been 5 years since I've started first time, and I really did not improve very much.
Well, you know, there's so much knowledge available for free online, you know, on YouTube. I mean, there's so many great musicians sharing their knowledge, you know, for free. So if I were you, I would take advantage of that, because when I started out, it was really hard. There was nobody around, you know, to tell me how to do it. I had to figure it out on my own. And, you know, and of course, you know, with some other musicians that I used to, you know, we used to go to parties and other like high school dances and so on, and watch other bands play and see what you can learn about, you know, about your instrument by watching them play certain songs and things like that. But it's so much easier now.
Yes, but I'm a fan. I'm not player. I'm not musician. I'm a really passionate fan.
Yeah,
well, awesome. Rudy, would you mind holding the photo up for him so you can screenshot it if you want, brother? Mattis.
Using.
He's like, no, it's okay. At least
you can take it with a phone too, if you have a cell phone too.
He's good. He said, all right.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much,
Hey,
Rudy.
my pleasure. And it should be, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put this in the mail tomorrow.
Thank you.
Back to Brett here. And yeah, you should have it pretty soon.
All right, thanks, Mattis. All right, so the next guy we got Philip Ellis.
Philip
Ellis in the house.
Hi,
Yes,
Philip. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Rudy. How are you today?
We are connecting on social media.
Yes, we are.
Which one? Because I'm on a few, and
we connect. Well, I follow you on Twitter and also Instagram, and I actually put a picture up today of a shirt I'm wearing in regards to in honor of Randy, since it's his birthday. So.
Oh, can you show us your shirt? You like maybe stand up and
how well you can see it, but
love that shirt. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm a huge fan of yourself, Quiet Riot, everything you've done, but more importantly, back in the day when you guys were still in Hollywood, I went to a show and saw you guys back in '79 at the Starwood.
Yeah.
It was probably it was actually my first show, live show, rock and roll show I've ever seen. So
Oh wow.
that really kind of got the ball rolling for me in regards to my love for rock and roll. We had a bootleg tape of Quiet Riot, cassette tape that we used to play in the car quite often on Friday and Saturday nights and going out to parties and stuff. So it was really exciting to be able to see you, Randy, Kevin. I think Drew was the drummer at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great time, and again, it was I really you guys introduced me to how I felt about rock and roll, and that was my beginning. So 40 years ago.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. As I recall, the Starwood had two rooms. One was the concert room.
Yes.
And the other one was the disco room.
Yeah.
And the younger crowd could actually go to the disco room, or if you wanted to go to the rock room, you had to wear a stamp.
Yeah.
Show your age that you couldn't drink. If you were.
Yeah, I had the stamp. I wasn't old enough to drink, so.
Yeah.
I had the special stamp.
Yeah, but it was great that no matter what age you could actually come, and watch all the great up and coming musicians.
Yeah, it was something I'll never forget. I remember getting there early and just walking up and just looking at the stage and seeing the drum kit and the Quiet Riot, and I stayed there until the show started. I was fortunate enough that I was right in the front, right in the middle, and I just I mean, Randy blew me away. You blew me away, Kevin. I was totally blown away by the whole experience. So it was a pretty fascinating night. Like I said, I never forgot it. And then when the whole thing happened with Ozzy, and then you guys got together with him, and Blizzard of Oz started, I couldn't. For me, it was kind of a special thing because it was like seeing a local band like that, and seeing a couple guys get to where you guys got, and just the couple of years with Ozzy and all that tour, it was pretty amazing. So I felt really kind of proud in a way to see you guys up there. Like I remember seeing these guys when they were working the streets in Hollywood, and now they're up on the big stage and in LA at the Forum or wherever we were at the time. So it was pretty special.
Yeah, well, working the streets in that area had a whole different meaning back then.
Yes, it did. At the time, it had a whole different meaning.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you guys you have a inscription you want Rudy to write on the autograph?
You know what? If he just to an old Quiet Riot diehard fan is good enough for me.
Okay, here we go.
You don't look that old.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I just had a birthday, so I'm catching up to Rudy here.
Oh wow. Well,
Rudy looks like he could outrun all of you.
But also, I want to say, thank you for so many years of great, just music that you've done with so many different people. It's been an amazing career that you've had, and it's been really enjoyable to watch you progress as a musician and a person. You're so open with your fans, and you always take the time to engage with them, and we really appreciate that. So it's very special.
I've been doing meet and greets since the 80s, before other people were actually doing them. Adrian Vandenberg and I started a program for PV Electronics back in the 80s, like 87, 88, where we will go to stores right before we will go to sound check in every town that we performed at, and we sign autographs, and we did the meet and greet.
Tower Records. Tower Records.
Well, actually, there were music stores rather than record stores, because it was for PV being a music instrument brand. But yeah, and then on top of that, the the record signings, but that was more like with Quiet Riot. With Quiet Riot, we did a lot of record signings, especially in '83. So many malls in America, and they all had a record store back then.
Yeah.
So, and since we were not headlining, we didn't have to go to sound check, or at least not early, because the first sound check was always by the headliner. So we have plenty of time to, before the show, go and sign records and, do meet and greet and all that. So
Can you hold up his autograph so you can get a snapshot so we can get to the next one?
Awesome.
Very cool. All right, we got somebody up. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
So up
Thank you,
next, we
brother.
got
Thank
Karen
you.
Weaver.
Thank you.
Karen Weaver, you're on with Rudy.
Okay.
There she goes.
There we are.
Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Love
Hi,
your
good.
love your fashion sense.
Isn't that awesome? It says Rudy all over it. You are actually my stocking stuffer this year.
Oh,
My
wow.
husband this is a gift for my husband, because when we went to NAMM, I saw you and I said, "That's Rudy. I know that smile anywhere." And he said, "That guy's too short. That's not Rudy."
Yeah.
So,
was I crawling around?
you had this beautiful smile and you're walking around, just walking through NAMM. And I was like, really? So I missed you there. So he said, making it up. And he said, "This is your Christmas gift."
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
You have an inscription that you want Rudy to write?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to leave that up to you, Rudy. But my biggest thing right now is you're humanitarian with animals. I see you with Willow in every picture, and I didn't know, is Willow, is she your rescue?
There's a sculpture of Willow, right?
I saw that. He did a great job.
Oh yeah,
I-
incredible. Yeah.
Willow, was she a rescue or?
No, she was not a rescue. We try rescuing with associations that deal with Yorkies, but they were older, and I told my wife, after a few attempts, I told her, you know what, this is going to be my last puppy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have that puppy experience one more time in my life,
Yeah.
And then I was in well, a lot of bitings and scratching, and I mean, they were like in
Yeah.
a loving way, how they are. And then
Yes.
she started eating the house, and she's like this big, just take chunks out of the house.
That's why you hold her all the time, because you put her down and off she goes.
Oh my God, yeah, it was something else. So to Karen,
Yes.
and I'll write a dedication here.
The rest, like I said, I'm just very impressed and in love with how humanitarian you are. I love your music, and you're the greatest entertainer. Love you in every video. So thank you so much.
Thank you for your support.
So he's going to hold the autograph up so you can
Okay,
screenshot it
here
if
you
you'd
go.
like, Karen. Awesome.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so up
Okay.
next we got Fred Nygaard, the ninja. He's got a ninja mask on.
Okay, how you doing?
Unmute him.
You got to unmute.
I'm doing
There you
great. How are you? Can you hear me?
Fred? How you doing, Fred?
Can you hear me?
go. We can hear him.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Sorry for the mask. We had a power failure, lost our power and internet, so I'm at a friend's restaurant under the rules that I have to wear the mask to attend both my sessions today on Headbangers. So
Wow.
this is a thrill.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry to hear that.
Well, I just heard from my house, my power's back on, but I don't have any internet, so we're getting there. Rudy,
okay.
I just want to say to you, your book was one of the greatest things I'd ever read. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for reading.
It's wonderful to read an epic from your side, and every interview that I've heard from you, always learn something. But there's one thing I'd like to know. what is your favorite story about your time with Ozzy?
Oh, that's the reason why I wrote the book, because I couldn't just come up with one favorite story. It's impossible. So it's all in the book. It's the book, all of that.
So I've read it all.
Yes, you have.
All right, great.
But now, if you, I don't know what your schedule is with Headbangers today, but in about an hour and a half, my radio show is going to feature Randy's brother and sister,
Oh my
Kelly
God.
and Kathy, and they got their own stories about Randy. So that definitely is worth listening to.
So in lieu of that, is there any musician or band that you haven't played with that you would love the opportunity to play with?
Yes, I was just watching. I have my acoustic signature bass guitar with a company called Sawtooth, and it's a division of Go DPS. And I did a series of tutorials and Q&As with them.
Sorry,
And
I can only search by topic for movies.
Siri's
Nobody
always
was
listening.
talking to her. She's so nosy.
She's always listening.
Yeah.
And she cannot be muted because I have the phone muted, for anybody, trying to call in so it doesn't ring. Wow, that's scary. Okay, so yeah, and I was asked that, so it's kind of like I'm going to tell you what I said on the Q&A. It's basically Jeff Beck. Not that it's going to happen, but yeah, there you go.
Who's to say that won't happen? Anything
Great
will happen.
choice.
Yeah. Okay, so any special dedication?
Surprise me, Rudy. Anything you write will be perfect.
Okay, you got it, Fred. And anything else you want to ask me while I'm writing this, please do.
Well, I'll tell you, the only thing I want to say to you is you and Randy certainly were a duo to be matched by no one. I would say that the two of you playing together was pure harmony and pure genius. So thank you for all the great music.
Well, thank you so much, Fred. I
loved
gotta
Randy.
tell you, I have been involved with some incredible musicians and bands, but that special magic that happened when I played with Randy, especially during the Ozzy years, with him, Randy, of course, Tommy, Ozzy, and Don Airy later on, that I haven't even come close to that yet. And I don't think
it
I
was
ever
beauty.
will. So
Pure beauty. Thank you.
Hold
Thank
up
you,
the,
and this is the signature right here.
Perfect. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And
Thank you,
I
Fred.
really love that Randy brought you along with him to Ozzy. That meant a lot to me. I was happy that day when I read in Cream that you were going to Ozzy thanks to Randy. So
Oh yeah,
it was a brilliant day.
yeah.
he's throwing out the cream,
Green
Matt.
magazine.
Old school right there, brother. Okay, up next we got Albert. I'm not sure if I see him on here. Albert Ribicus. Hope I said that right.
No, I don't see Albert.
I don't see Albert
I
on
don't
here.
think so.
Okay, we'll move to the next one. We got Sammy Styles. What a great name.
Like
Okay.
Harry.
Thank you.
Spelled different.
Samantha Styles.
Yeah,
Samantha,
I
Hi,
go by
Samantha.
Sandy though.
how are
Hi,
you?
Rudy. I'm
How are-
good. How are you?
How am I? Blessed?
Yes,
Incredibly
you
blessed.
are.
Yeah.
We all are, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good to see you.
Good-
So I
good
want
to
to
see you.
tell you a story.
Okay.
It's pretty quick. But so in 1983, I started getting into hard rock and heavy metal about that year. I was about 13, 14 years old. And my friend said, let's go see this band Quiet Riot. You guys made a little trip. I think you were headlining, and you made like a pit stop in our little town of Yakima, Washington. And we got right up front, and I was on your side, and I was just totally mesmerized by you because the lead guitar, he'd come over out to your side of the stage. But for the most part, I was totally mesmerized by you. And it was the first concert that I ever banged my head at. And my friends that were with me, they were a little embarrassed because it was it was new to them, and I couldn't not do it. The music was just booming, and I was like, I had to bang my head. And I remember my one friend going, "Oh my gosh, I'm not standing by her," and running over to the other side of our group. But you guys got me started on big time, just continuing on with heavy metal and banging my head, and I still do it today. So thank you for that.
Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you still in your hometown, or have you moved on?
Yeah, I never got out of Yakima. Oh my goodness. So, kind of a bummer. I have to travel. Not a whole lot of music comes through here, so I have to take a lot of road trips. I go to Seattle and Portland a lot to see shows.
Yeah, I'm in a band called the Guess Who, and we're supposed to be somewhere in Oregon.
Oh, cool.
Portland, coming up in last week of January. Hopefully by then, the guys,
Hopefully everything's open.
including myself, we've taken the vaccine, but
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I'll look for you then. Sounds good.
So what do you want him to sign on your autograph?
Yeah,
I want him to write,
Oh, okay.
to Sammy, bang your head, mental health forever.
Okay, you got it.
That's right.
SAMMY.
Yes, yes.
Sammy, bang your head.
Yep, and
Forever.
mental health forever.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm sorry about your bad concert, friends. And I hope you didn't go to any more shows with them.
The one
That
girl,
stinks.
no, but there was the couple. Let me take this picture. There was a couple that we still go.
Good.
Oops, hang on. One more.
Awesome. We get it? All right, so up next, we got Jay Shoop. Jay Shoop, you're up there with Rudy.
I don't. Oh, there he is.
I gotta unmute him.
Unmute.
There we go.
Did I unmute myself or you got me?
Yeah.
We can hear you, bud.
Rudy, thanks for doing this.
Actually, the following one is Kima.
The metal pup. Kima the metal pup. That's my pup.
Okay. Oh, Kima okay, it says here, to my friend Kima, unleash the metal.
That's right. That's good.
Okay. That is your
So
pup?
So Kima's my 7-year-old rescue pup, and she loves metal. So I had a couple of questions for you, Rudy. The first one, I was wondering, when you first found out that Ronnie was sick, do you remember where you were?
Yeah.
And then how was he able to perform even after that diagnosis?
Okay. Yeah, make sure I don't forget to answer the last question.
Okay.
This is 2009, November 16th. The day before we were the band Dio was supposed to leave for our European tour. When Ronnie started playing with Heaven and Hell, we would always at least do one tour as Dio. And because of scheduling, it usually fell on the end of the year. And so we would do like a Scandinavian run. And this time we were going to start in England, in the UK, and then go towards Europe and Scandinavia. But what happened was we have been rehearsing, and the band was Scott Warren, Simon Wright, Doug Aldrich, and myself, and of course, Ronnie. And while we were rehearsing, he was complaining about kind of like feeling like gas. He was having gas in his stomach, but he was singing amazing. I mean, we were, because since he was already playing Black Sabbath songs with Heaven and Hell, we got rid of the Black Sabbath songs on our playlist and started going deeper into Rainbow and of course Dio. And I mean, he was singing material from like the first Rainbow record and second Rainbow records, like they haven't done in 40 years, Lady of the Lake, and songs like that. And it was just amazing. And then he was saying amazing because Ronnie at rehearsal never phoned it in. He was saying exactly with the same intensity as he did live, But after each song, he would kind of like feel like, yeah, something's wrong. And so finally, Wendy Dio, that day, in November 16th, which was the last day, took him to emergency to see if they could prescribe him something or see what it was. They thought it was an ulcer. They were hoping, something that could be cured and treated, and immediately. So me finding out how it was is we were on stage rehearsing, going over the songs, and I see the door opening to our rehearsal room, the big sound stage with a door far away, and a door that leads to the outside. So if it's daylight, like it was, whoever walks in, you only see the shadow, the silhouette of the person. But so I see Wendy coming in, and by her body language, I knew that it was not going to be good news. And then she slowly walked up to the stage and told us that Ronnie was being taken to Houston to further, there's an oncologist out there that Wendy knew and says, this is the person that I trust to really give me a diagnosis of Ronnie. And that happened on the November 16th, and 6 days to the month, that's when he passed away.
Wow.
And that was, speaking of that was the last time, those rehearsals were the last time that Ronnie ever sang.
Wow.
We're always going to remember Ronnie. Did you have something you wanted to write on his autograph for you?
Yeah, I think that he's already got it. He's got Unleash the Metal to Kima. And then can I ask one other question?
Yes.
We got to do it real quick because we got to move on to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my friend Kima Unleash the Metal, right? Okay.
Cool. Yeah, just real quick, I wanted to find out, you've played with some awesome drummers, Tommy and Vinny, and was Frankie your favorite drummer to play with? And how did you guys meet?
There's on Spotify, I got my podcast. Actually my 6 Degrees of Sarzo show is on Spotify. If you go there, you look for it, and it's conversation with Frankie and me talking. And we open up with that.
Awesome.
We open up.
That's awesome.
How we met.
All right, guys. Next up, sorry, we had to move on.
Thank you.
We got Lauren Nichols up next. Lauren, you're on with Rudy. We got you.
She's muted.
Okay, Unleash the Metal. There we go. Yeah.
There she goes.
Yeah, this is.
Hi, Rudy.
Oh, Lauren, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? I love your shirt.
Thank you.
I miss seeing you on the road. How you been?
Yeah, I was gonna see you in Minnesota with the Guess Who, but it got canceled.
I know. Well, hopefully it will get rescheduled. So, I'll see you. I'll see you next year for sure. What would you like me to write on this? Anything special?
It's up to you.
Okay. Here you go. Okay.
You can make it a surprise.
It's gonna be a surprise.
Yay, surprise.
So how's your guitar playing coming along?
It's going good.
Any new songs?
I've been working on 8 Days a Week by the Beatles.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I really enjoy your guitar playing. I mean, I've told you that before when you send me the videos, you know. So here it is.
That's so cool.
Here it is, Lauren. And I'll see you on the road, okay?
Did you want to get a screenshot of that, Lauren?
You want to take? Okay, hold on.
Sure. Okay, I got it.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, we'll move on to our last one here, which is Mario Stegmeta. It says Bernadette, but I'm assuming you're Mario, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
My wife got this for me.
I do this shit on the fly, brother. You know what I mean?
Okay, so this one says Maria and Al, so it's really Mario.
Mario, yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
okay. So it's Mario and Al.
No, just actually, you know what? It's just Mario. And if you could just write whatever you want, actually, I had said something previously, but I'm rethinking it. Whatever you want to write, I'm okay with it.
Where are you
Could be better.
right now? I mean, do you have any questions?
I do, but
Okay.
I have a couple. First of all, the podcast that you had with Frankie on it, on the that was absolutely hilarious. By the way, I just want to mention that it was a fantastic podcast. I do have a question. Question is, you had mentioned previously that I'm not sure if it was Crazy Train, that you had said it was a 70s style bass line. And you'd also said in your podcast too that by the time the 90s rolled around, people have been doing the diatonic bass line to death. So I started playing bass like mid 80s. So basically I was doing everything diatonic. How is it that you kind of approach it? How do you approach a bass line too? Because again, my first go-to is like, okay, what's the root? I'm gonna start smashing on that. But to make a really good deep melodic bass line, what's your approach? What is the first thing you think about?
I mean, it's like going from point A to point B. There's a lot of ways to get there, but eventually you'll get to point B somehow. So one of the first things that I like to do is get a chart of the chord changes, and I need the full makeup of the chord, if it's a minor or a major or a seventh, because I look at the chord tones as my foundation of the bass line. You know, those 3 or 4 notes, whether a triad or if it's got a seventh, and if the seventh is an important color in the chord, like a minor seventh, a flatter seventh, you know. So I start from that, and then I listen to the groove, where the kick and the snare they lie. That's going to get me kind of like the pattern where I'm going to be playing at. Even though I've made records that the drums were not recorded when I lay down the bass, so I just basically play either to a click track or to a metro, you know, like a drum machine. And then I stuck pretty much in the direction of what the guitar is playing. And at the end, once the drummer laid out his parts, I thought, wow, this is really interesting, because I would have never approached the bass the way that I did. I would have leaned more towards playing with the drums than not. And sometimes that really works. A lot of times, you know, somebody like Paul McCartney, who is very melodic, he doesn't lean on what the drummer is playing. He'll lean on a melodic pattern. And then again, it's all according to the style of music that you're playing. If you're playing something bluesier, you're not going to be as melodic. You're going to be more groove oriented and stick with pentatonics. and even if you're doing a seventh in a minor seventh chord, but with a major third, if you play the minor third, still going to sound good, especially in the long, in the low register of the bass.
Yeah. Passing note, like the different color.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things to take into consideration. Also, what I like to do, listen to the melody of the vocals and support what the vocals is doing, because basically that's your job. If the singer is going up in the vocal melody, make sure that what you play reflects that. You go to the higher interval rather than the lower interval, because emotionally that's where the music is going. So, for example, the great singers like Ronnie James Dio, when he sings down, melodically it goes down. It doesn't go down, which a lot of guys might do that, might not pay attention to what the emotion of the lyric is, because the soundtrack, the music has to reflect that.
Did you have to learn that on your own, or is that something that someone expressed to you at one point, or is that a way that you've developed?
I've been doing this for a long time. You should just figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like, duh,
Yeah.
for me. And of course, I had to get to the point that after doing certain things, very few people really sat down and told me things that needed to be done. But once you start working with the great ones, they lead by example.
And then
you
just
listen to them, you go, okay, this is what this person is doing, because you're not just going to a concert to listen to them. You're on stage with them every night. You're in rehearsals. You're in the studio. You're completely surrounded by this person's talent. And if you're paying attention, and like in my case, I happen to be a fan of a lot of people that I play with, what better opportunity for a fan that actually to like, oh, okay, I'm going to be a fly on the wall and figure out how greatness happens.
Yeah, that's cool.
Did you want what did you want Rudy to write on your autograph, Mario?
Whatever he wants.
I already did.
Boom.
Yay.
You want to screenshot that, Mario?
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, let me do that right here. Let me do that here, and I'm going.
Got it?
Yeah, beautiful.
Great.
Amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. My pleasure. Thank you. And these are going out in the mail tomorrow.
So Rudy, since we have a couple extra minutes here, since we have nobody after for a little bit, obviously everybody knows the musicians you played with. Who's your favorite musician you played with? What was it like to play with Randy Rhoads? A lot of us want to know what that must have been like.
Yeah, I mean, my best answer is, what was it like to play with Randy Rhoads? Is I wrote a book about it. And the reason why I wrote a book about it is because I could right now give you one or two examples of what was it like to play with Randy Rhoads, but I never felt satisfied that I actually would give you the full picture of what it was really like to play with Randy Rhoads until I was able to say everything, and everything that I got to say about it, it's in the book. But if you listen to the show today, with it's in about an hour and 15 minutes. Monsters of Rock Radio. If you go to themonstersofrock.com, and you're gonna hear me talking about Randy, not only about the Aussie days, but the Quiet Riot days, and you're gonna hear Kelly and Kathy, brothers and sister, and they're gonna give you the whole insight about Randy before I even met Randy, And we did the show remotely from Musonia. We did it about a couple of years ago. And we actually did it in the same room where Randy taught guitar. So it's got that energy.
That's amazing. And the name of your podcast is 6 Degrees of Sarzo, correct?
Yeah. It's a 4-hour show with conversations and music. So So you're going to hear a lot of Randy on the broadcast.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I haven't read your book. What's the name of it?
Off the Rails.
Off the Rails.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
If you go to Amazon,
yeah,
you can order. It's a print per order. So I don't have any copies. You just order and they print it and ship it out. Or Kindle too.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's all we got today. This was a lot of fun. Just to let everybody know, everybody who's in here, we're going to do this again in April, and it's been a lot of fun. Every single panel we've done has been a lot of fun. Rudy, you were amazing. Thanks for doing this for us, man. And
thank you.
You know, during this time of nobody touring and no metal, we miss concerts. So this is kind of a little bit of a fill for us while we're not going to shows.
Yeah. I got my biggest fan, my little dog, and I play for her every day.
She probably loves it.
We actually do have one question in the chat here.
Okay.
They want to know about your animation projects.
I have an animation project. It's coming along incredibly well. It's a new technology that we're using, and I can't really say much about it, but it's very much music related, metal related, but animation project.
Any thought, any idea when it's coming out or roundabout?
Well, no, I can't.
It's a valiant effort.
Fine.
Fair enough.
Everything is shut down right now. So the only thing that we can do is actually move forward with the creation and write the scripts and work on the characters, work on the music, on the concept. But it's not like we can say, okay, we have a deadline because we got to submit this to the studio, but nobody's doing that unless it's a show that's already established and they need a season 2 or 3. Because everybody's been binging all the shows and they're running out of content. So
yeah.
We
do have one more question here too. Sammy wants to know who your earliest bass influence was.
Influences? Oh my God. There was 2 schools of music that I really dove into. Initially, mid-60s, the British invasion. So of course McCartney led the way with that, but there was a lot of other great bass players like John Entwistle with the Who, even Bill Wyman with the Rolling Stones. He has some really interesting bass lines, and then Motown, and also actually there were 3. There was the Wrecking Crew. So I would say Carol Kay played a huge part of that, because she did all the West Coast music. And I was a huge Beach Boys fan. So she played on all the Beach Boys records. So yeah, basically there were 3 major influences.
Super.
Awesome. Was that all the extra questions, Dorothy?
That's it. Just a thank you from Fred saying incredible as always. And Off the Rails is a great book, great insight on Randy. So thanks you guys for your feedback.
So everybody on here, obviously, we have the Headbangers website, headbangerscon.com. Keep posted on our website for updates, new shows. We want to do this again live. We did it last year in Portland, and Rudy, we were hoping you were going to make that one, but you had some kind of prior engagement, so you couldn't make that one. But
yeah,
it was a lot of fun, and we're gonna do it again live once all this bullshit is done. So just keep updated on our website to make sure you catch future dates. Like I said, the next one's going to be in April. And everybody was great. Everybody had great questions.
Everybody. Yeah. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
You too.
And every other holiday that comes along with it. And Happy New Year.
Rudy, thank you so much for your time, man. You were amazing. Seriously. Huge fan, and thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Drive safe. Drive home safe. Okay.
We're just going to sleep here.
Oh, God.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.